you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Living the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream.
What up, Dream Team? Coach D here coming at you from beautiful sunny San Diego, and welcome back to the Living the Dream podcast. We're going to finish the week strong by covering how to properly fuel our bodies based on what works best for us individually and in order to reach for our health, fitness, and wellness goals, and in order to live our dream lives. One of the questions that I get asked more than anything else is, Coach, what is the best diet? Is it keto, Mediterranean, carnivore, vegan, intermittent fasting, low carb, high carb? Every expert seems to have a different answer. And every expert can usually point to studies that support their position. So, who is right? Honestly, probably all of them to a certain extent for somebody. And this is why I wrote my number one rule in my life rules list. I have a huge list of life rules. My number one rule is do what works for you. Do what works for you. Now, before you think that that is a cop-out, which I totally get on the surface, it really does sound like a cop-out. Hear me out. That doesn't mean do what's easiest. It doesn't mean eat whatever you want. It doesn't mean avoid learning. It actually means the opposite. It means you have to become a student of your own body. In order for you to know what works for you, you have to first experiment, track, find awareness of what's happening, pay attention. You have to fail and adjust from that failure. You have to learn. You have to repeat. It takes awareness, honesty, patience. Because even if someone somehow discovered the single greatest nutrition plan ever created, it still might not be the best plan for you. Your schedule is different. Your genetics are different. Your stress levels are different, and how you handle that stress, even how you view that stress. Your goals are different. Your life is different. And that's exactly what today's episode is all about. This week, we've been talking about the waves of life. Today, I want to suggest something. Your nutrition should move with those waves, just like the tides. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is trying to force themselves to eat exactly the same way every single day. Monday, Friday, vacation, business trip, recovery day, heavy training day. Everything gets treated the same. But life isn't the same every day. So why would your nutrition be? Nature doesn't produce the same wave in the ocean every few seconds. The tide doesn't stay high forever. Everything in biology adjusts to changing conditions. Maybe your nutrition should too. Think about your car. If you're towing a heavy trailer over the mountains, you're going to be burning a lot more fuel than just driving down the street to grab some groceries at the store. Your body works a lot like the same way. Yesterday, I might have coached 5 classes in a row, walked over 20,000 steps, lifted weights, played basketball, and spent a couple hours outside. Tomorrow might be a nice little beach walk. Sit at a desk and podcast a little, maybe read a good book or listen to a good podcast. Should I fuel those days exactly the same? Well, probably not, because the demand isn't the same. I like to think of this as fuel matching. Instead of asking, what diet am I on? Ask, what is my body being asked to do today? Am I doing a hard strength workout? Your muscles are asking for building blocks to recover when you do a hard strength workout. So maybe that's when the protein is an extra focus for you, and the sleep, and the hydration, and the electrolytes. Did you have a long basketball game? Well, probably need more carbohydrates than if I was sitting behind a desk podcasting all day. Hot summer hike, my body is asking for more hydration, electrolytes, refueling, rehydrating. Is this just a recovery day? Maybe appetite naturally changes to eating a little less, eating a few more fruits and vegetables and fiber. The healthiest people that I know, they don't eat perfectly the same thing every single day. They eat appropriately. They match their fuel to the demands of their life. Now let's talk about carbohydrates for a minute. Carbohydrates have become one of the most misunderstood nutrients in health and fitness, and I totally understand why. There's dozens of books on why carbs are great, carbs are bad. There's dozens of carbohydrate, low carbohydrate, high carbohydrate diets. It's just, you could go crazy doing research and trying to find the right answer and just going through all these rabbit holes of people who are trying to spin off and trying to go so nuanced where the average person just gets so confused that they just throw their hands up and they say, I'm going to go get some fast food. People often ask me, Coach, are carbs good or are they bad? My answer is always neither. They are fuel. Imagine you're building a campfire. If you're sitting around talking with friends, you only need a few logs for that campfire. But if you're trying to keep a massive fire burning all night, you're going to need a lot more. Carbohydrates are those fire logs. If you're asking your body to sprint, lift, play basketball, play pickleball, train hard for an hour, take that group fitness class, those logs become incredibly valuable. Now, if you're sitting on the couch watching movies all day, you simply don't need as many of those logs. The fuel isn't the problem. The problem is the mismatch. You want to match your fuel to your movement. Here's something that I wish more people understood. If your body is constantly talking to you, then the question should be, are you listening? Sometimes it's telling you that it's thirsty. Sometimes it's telling you that it's hungry. Sometimes you're just simply tired. Sometimes you're craving something because you're stressed out, or you need to cope with a vice because something happened negative in your life. Sometimes you're just bored, but you're misinterpreting it as hungry. Sometimes because you truly need energy is when you start to feel like you are hungry. And maybe you truly do need energy, but all of those things are very different conversations. And one of the greatest skills that we can develop isn't memorizing another diet, asking a nutritionist to make us another nutrition meal plan with every single calorie and thing dialed out. Maybe it's about learning to understand the language of our own body. We've become so focused on following someone else's nutrition plan, so focused that many of us have forgotten how to really just pay attention to what is happening. Yes, calories, macros, tracking apps, meal plans. I use many of these tools from time to time myself. They are incredibly valuable. But they're meant to educate you. They're not meant to replace your awareness. The goal isn't to become dependent on an app forever. The goal is to become someone who knows their own body so well that good decisions become almost intuitive. That when you are given a situation that you've never seen before, based on all of your data gathered, awareness, your trial and error, your experience, you will know what to do, even though you haven't seen it before. If that happens when you are being told what to do, there's no way you're going to be able to have the ability to make the best decision possible that you want to make. I've coached people for years now, and one thing that I've noticed is this: most people don't fail because they picked the wrong diet. They fail because they're trying to follow a nutrition plan that doesn't fit the life that they're actually living. They start off meal prepping like a professional bodybuilder, but they're also working 60 hours a week, raising kids, sleeping only 5 hours a night. And then after a couple weeks, they're wondering why they can't keep up. The best nutrition plan isn't the one that looks perfect on paper. It's the one that you can still follow 6 months, 9 months, 12 months from now. Because let's say it again, consistency has always been our real superpower. Compounding interest, long-term consistency, patience, patience, patience. So here's our challenge for this weekend. Before every meal, pause. Pause for just a few seconds. Take 9 deep breaths, putting yourself into a more rest and digest state. Pause for just a few seconds before you eat and ask yourself one question. What does my body need today? Not what am I allowed to eat? Not what does social media say I should eat? Simply, what choice would best support the life that I'm living today? Sometimes that's a big, colorful salad. Sometimes that's a nice, juicy steak. Sometimes it's oatmeal or Greek yogurt before a long run. Sometimes it's tacos with your family or friends, making memories. Those matter too. Life rule number 1, do what works for you, but never stop learning what that actually means. It's a moving target. I'll leave you with one final thought. The ocean, it doesn't produce the same wave. Nature doesn't expect every season to look the same. Your body wasn't designed to need the exact same thing every single day either. So stop chasing the perfect diet and instead, let's commit. Commit to learning to nourish ourselves through every season, through every workout, through every recovery day, through every challenge, and every wave that life sends our way. Feed the life that you're living. And in doing so, you'll slowly build the body and the life that you dream of. Eat well, trust your body, and as always, get stronger, live longer. And that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this Fuel Up Friday episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Share the knowledge that you gain with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. If this episode inspired you, share it with a friend who could benefit from what we talked about today. To support this podcast and help it grow, please subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on and leave a review telling others how this podcast has benefited you. Leave a comment on this episode letting me know how you're incorporating what you learned today. This is a non-cost way to help get this important wellness content into more people's ears. Take a screenshot of this episode and tag me at livingthedream_podcast or at coachdamian_SD and let us know how this episode benefited you. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what we got wrong. We want to know. Message us if you have any suggestions or tips that would help your Living the Dream team that we can discuss in future episodes. I will be right here with you, working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.